Alright, I don't know what it is that you people want from me. My last video, the one using Slowbro in Pokemon Yellow, was done as a nice little video to break up the dead air on my channel. You know, since I hadn't posted a video in over 3 months. And then Slowbro has the audacity to go ahead and get over 2,000 views in just a few days. My question is, why the Slowbro video? Anyways, we're back with another video, and I uploaded it in less than 3 months from the previous one this time. And as promised in the Slowbro video, this one is taking a look at using Starmie in Pokemon Yellow. My claim still stands. I believe that Psychic and Water are the two best typings in Gen 1, and this is the other Gen 1 Pokemon that is both. Slowbro's only downfall was its ridiculously low speed. If it had just the tiniest bit of better speed, we probably could have rolled through the last run. And Starmie has a much better speed stat. Granted, it's not hard to be better than Slowbro's, and Starmie is leagues better. We're talking beginning of Indigo League Ash compared to like, literally any other trainer but Ash. In terms of stats, Starmie's speed, as mentioned, is the big standout. Starmie's HP, attack, and defense are lower than Slowbro's by about 20 apiece. However, Special is 20 points higher, and this is Gen 1 with a Psychic Water type, so that Special boost is gonna be big. And obviously, speed is a game changer since it's Gen 1. Slowbro did learn Amnesia before the Elite Four, and that one move really made a huge difference in the run. Starmie, unfortunately, doesn't learn Amnesia. In fact, it doesn't learn anything. I didn't know this before I made the claim last video that Starmie was probably better than Slowbro. Since it's one of those Pokemon that evolves using a stone, anything its previous form learned is all you're getting. And since this Starmie never started out as a Staryu, we only have TM moves, and Tackle, Water Gun, and Harden. Not fantastic. And the TM moves are okay, but Starmie is missing another move that Slowbro got to take huge advantage of. Body Slam. Can you make it through the game without this move? Sure, but it's such a nice move. The more I learned about Gen 1 Starmie, the sadder I got. But I believe Starmie is going to run circles around Slowbro. The special and speed stat increase is going to make all the difference. And surely I won't make a mistake when getting footage for the video and forget to hit the record button during one of the most important parts of the game, right? Right? Oh, hey, those are some new things on the screen. Last video I kept up with resets by manually putting them in during editing. This time they're part of the recorded video file, along with a timer showing how long it took me to complete the game in real time. So like how the Slowbro run showed 3 hours and 20 seconds of in-game time, that's not including all of the resets and time it took to do all that stuff. I gotta give a huge shout out to two people here, Scott's Thoughts and Steve M Plays, for helping me set this up. There's a lot of really cool stuff like this that I'm hoping to get included in future videos, and I wouldn't be able to do it without these guys helping me out. Make sure you check both of these channels out. I forgot to nickname Starmie when given the option, but I was gonna name it Pat. If you think you know why, throw it down in the comments. Also, to follow up naming my rival Butt last time, my rival now is named Fart. I am allowed to vote. First battle against Eevee, and nothing even remotely challenging. Having a stab move and water gun to start out with a good special stat is great for this part of the game. No issues here. And to make sure my rival has Jolteon, I took on Fart in the optional battle. Jolteon makes this run the hardest, so I wanted to make sure that was what Fart ended up with. And since I had Harden, I thought I'd just bulk up and speed through the battle. Anytime Spearow used Growl, it wouldn't affect Water Gun, so I had this in the bat. Oh. We're already at one reset. Well, that's not good. Second battle, I did the same thing. Spearow kept using Leer and Growl each turn instead of attacking. By the time it used Peck, I was pretty much set up. Water Gun wasn't crazy good against it, but it did well enough. Spearow did do a decent number on me, though, before going down. Eevee wasn't as tough, but it did have Sand Attack now. And it made a small difference, but Eevee kept using Tail Whip, letting me just attack. Okay, that was tougher than it should have been. But it's gonna get better, for sure. I'm not keeping track of speedrun mistakes in this video, although that was a nice stat to keep up with last time. I'll try to mention them when they happen though. like when I battled this super optional trainer in Viridian Forest. No biggie. I did go straight to Brock though, because Water Gun, well, Water Gun did about what you expected it to do. In fact, I didn't even think it would one-shot both of his Pokemon. Geodude, sure, but Onix too? Poor guy. Fart's battle on Nugget Bridge saw me trying to manipulate the badge boost glitch to raise Starmie's attack stat. Spearow would either use Peck or Leer, so I used Harden at least 8 times. But then Spearow used Growl twice, completely handicapping Starmie's attack. So I swapped over to Water Gun and decimated the rest of the team. Except for Sandshrew. It put up a good fight. Definitely the toughest member of this team, especially against a water type. Oh, hey. Here's a completely random battle against a Lass on Route 25. Nothing important to show, just the second reset of the run. Here's the thing, these moves just aren't great, and Starmie doesn't have enough power to make a difference against grass types yet. I was also low on health and poisoned, so I got a little overzealous. I barely made it through the second time though, so this little Lass could have been really disastrous for the run. 2 resets already before Slowbro even had 1. Not exactly the best, but we're done with these hang-ups for sure. Misty wasn't ever a worry, and since I had Harden, I could abuse the badge boost glitch to raise Tackle's attack. And since Misty has good AI, Staryu and Starmie would only ever use Tackle against me, so the defense boost wasn't just for abusing glitches. Misty does have Harden too, and likes using X-Defense, so this was a pretty long and drawn out battle, but not bad in the slightest. And now we get the first TM we can use. Bubble Beam. It's just better Water Gun. Since I can't learn Body Slam, I went straight for Fart on the boat, and Bubble Beam is a huge game changer. It knocked out every single Pokemon in one shot except for Eevee. Now that's more like it. Here's the power trip I was expecting with Starmie. Still, kinda shocked that Sandshrew only took 1 hit. Thought it would be tougher. I took down Lieutenant Surge in 1 try with Slowbro, and with Starmie, I had to reset. See, Surge is a bad trainer, and you never know what he's going to use, even if there's a clear best move. He didn't do that with Slowbro, but he did do it with Starmie. 1 Thunderbolt and Starmie was toast. I did this battle once more. He used an item letting me attack, but then Thunderbolt again. In the interest of not just resetting for RNG so the reset counter doesn't blow up, I moved on. If I could level up, get some better moves, Surge was likely going to be a piece of cake. Now let me tell you something that I didn't appreciate in the Slowbro run. Having confusion right from the get-go made me overlook how easy a lot of these grass types are in the early game. This Lass right before Rock Tunnel rocked me pretty good. So good that it caused a reset. I was poisoned by Oddish and got stuck in a rap battle with Bellsprout. I tried this 2 more times, and still couldn't beat the Lass. 3 resets on this completely random trainer. A trainer using only Oddish and Bellsprout. For those keeping track at home, Slowbro had 0 resets at this point. I didn't like it, but I had no other choice. I went and battled a lot of other trainers just to get some levels on those grass monstrosities. I had no other moves that I could learn, so this and RNG was the only thing that was going to get me past this girl. After leveling up a little bit, still couldn't beat this stupid trainer. Granted, I just reset when 1 attempt started very poorly, but I highly doubt this would have been the attempt to beat her. So back to Vermilion we go to get some more levels. And you know what? After getting these levels, I thought I'd battle Surge again. And why couldn't this have happened the first time? I got a critical Bubble Beam, Raichu used Mega Punch, so no Thunderbolt. Then it used Growl, and no Thunderbolt. So leveling up your Pokemon causes Surge to get dumber. Good news! I took down the Lass. And before someone jumps down my throat at my move selection here, hear me out. Yes, by my calculations, Bubble Beam would have had 97.5 power, while Thunderbolt only had 95 against these grass types. So why did I use Thunderbolt this whole time? The chance of paralyzing. Bubble Beam was only going to lower speed, and that wasn't as useful. And did any of her Pokemon get paralyzed? Nope. Was it too close for comfort? Yup. But I beat the Lass. The Elite Four should really call her up. She could honestly probably beat Bruno. And the Lass inside the cave? The one that caused the first reset on Slowbro? Well, Starmie won this battle, because Bulbasaur used Growl instead of attacking. Still, That's a moral victory, and I'll take it. But we do get one reset in Rock Tunnel. Starmie was poisoned from that battle and fainted outside of battle. So, I guess the last did beat us, but we beat her first. Should this really count? I don't know. That's why I added a reset, just in case. With a clean bill of health, the rest of the tunnel was no problem at all, and we're headed to Celadon. And at this point I was able to grab Ice Beam and Psychic, and Starmie could finally unleash some heavy firepower. Also, I know Blizzard has 90% accuracy in Gen 1, but I will always use Ice Beam over it. It could be 99% accurate, and I will still go for the 100%. Unfortunately, Erica was too tough. Tangela got a massive hit on me, and Psychic couldn't take out Weepinbell in one hit. I was toast the next round. After another failed battle, I took on 2 more girls in Erica's gym. I only gained 1 level, but surely I'm prepared enough now. Tangela took 2 Ice Beams, and it hit me with a Mega Drain. About normal. Weepinbell took a Psychic, but Erica used a Super Potion out of turn. So I had a free shot on it, and then knocked it out. And Gloom's Petal Dance is deadly. Too bad I never had to deal with it, because Psychic was a one-shot on Gloom. So I probably didn't have to battle those 2 girls, but whatever. I realized I never mentioned Jesse and James in Mount Moon, and yeah, I didn't need to. I'd like for these 2 to be a struggle in some run, but I genuinely can't think of a run where they would be a struggle. Between Bubble Beam and Psychic, Giovanni stood no chance. Like, no chance. Not even a little bit. Here's just some more dialogue so I can fill the screen with the entire battle. So... And the star keeps on rolling. Fart in the Pokemon Tower was just as uneventful as you'd expect. I thought Sandshrew was going to get me here though. And Jesse and James were in the Pokemon Tower too. They're nice. Compared to Slowbro, I was pretty underleveled at this point in the game, but I thought I'd go ahead and battle Koga. Starmie was on a hot streak and I didn't want to ruin it. I learned in the Slowbro run that if you go into the battle with Koga poisoned, you can't be put to sleep, or you can't get hit with Toxic. But it didn't matter, because Starmie kept knocking out everything in one shot. Venomoth almost caused some problems though. Koga used an X attack, and Psychic did about half damage. But Venomoth was using a buffed up Leech Life. Good thing it's not Leech Life in the newer games, because that would have been a terrible situation. But Starmie pulled through, and I was still rolling. After getting Surf, I traveled south of Pallet so I could take advantage of this stab super effective move on Blaine. But not before knocking out the trainers in his gym. I needed levels, and I figured this was going to be the place where I wouldn't have to worry about leveling up. And Blaine was just as easy as the rest of his gym. Even with a big level difference and a scary takedown from Rapidash, I got the win. Arcanine did miss Fire Blast after a critical Surf just barely didn't knock it out. So that was super lucky. But it happened, no resets against Blaine, and that's all that matters. Fart stirred up again in the Silphco building, and he led with Sandslash. So talk about a close call. Most of the rest was business as usual, and that's exactly why I made sure to get as many levels in Cinnabar as I could. Kadabra wasn't a one-shot though, but it only took away 10 HP. Now the one we all knew would cause issues though, is Jolteon. I landed a critical Psychic, and it was left with red health. It landed a critical Thundershock, because of course why not, and didn't knock me out. But it caused paralysis, meaning I couldn't attack first. But Pin Missile only landed 4 times, so Starmie was in the clear. But Starmie was also paralyzed. Good news though, this was the only reset against Fart at this point in the game. Basically the exact same battle, but Jolteon used Pin Missile instead of Thundershock at the beginning. Starmie only had a regular Psychic on that first turn, but got a critical to take it down on the second. Thank goodness. And for Jesse and James's last time at the plate, I just wanted to mention how cool it would have been for them to show up at the end of Victory Road. You beat Giovanni, he disbands Team Rocket, and they get their one last chance at revenge. This is the last place they are in the game. I think that just would have been neat. Anybody want to hack that in for me? I'll totally play it on the channel. Between Bubble Beam and Psychic, Giovanni stood no chance. Like, no chance. Not even a little bit. Wait, hang on. That really sounds familiar. It's because I copied it from the earlier battle. I had Surf now instead of Bubble Beam, but it was literally just a repeat. Those moves just take care of everything I needed in this battle. There's actually something interesting to show in the Sabrina battle. My accuracy got messed up in the early stages of the battle, and I didn't want to get screwed over by Alakazam's recover. So I used Ice Beam exclusively, missing like 3 of them, and then landing one, freezing Alakazam. For the few that don't know, you can't thaw naturally in Gen 1, so this meant I could take as much time as I needed. And Starmie missed a few more moves, but still, not bad at all. I'd like to say that I just copy and pasted the earlier parts about Giovanni again, but it unfortunately doesn't apply here. Dugtrio was no issue. But Persian finally caused some havoc. I definitely want to use Persian in a video one day. But after 2 Psychics, no big deal. Nidoqueen was the victim of a critical Psychic, but I think that crit made a big difference. Because Nidoking took a regular Psychic, no crit, and unleashed Thunder. Giovanni was finally ready to play. Second time, Persian didn't use Slash, he used Screech instead, so no health lost. And the critical Psychic did make a difference against Nidoqueen, but Giovanni used a Guard Spec, so I was able to take it down. And Nidoking, of course, used Thunder, and then it paralyzed me, of course. At least I survived. It missed the next Thunder, and Starmie landed a hit. Big ol' Rhydon scared me. It went for Horn Drill. But I remembered that one-hit KO moves in Gen 1 work on speed, so it wasn't gonna get me. And one Surf took it out. No problem with paralysis. Had to let out one more fart before Victory Road, and again, he led with the deadly Sandslash. Surf got it, and I just keep getting lucky, I guess. Execute couldn't take the cold, and Ninetales was a victim of Surf. Cloyster just barely hung on, confused me, but then went down. And Kadabra got a Psybeam off and set up Reflect before fainting, but didn't cause too much of an issue. Jolteon, of course, though, was faster, and Thunder just knocked out the star. Next battle, Kadabra was frozen, couldn't take any of my health, and Jolteon landed a Thunder. And this process repeated for a good while. I decided to go and level up against some bikers since they'd be easy wins, and I could get some money for some vitamins to boost stats. And it took about 5 or so more attempts before I got past Jolteon. Those little level boosts gave Starmie the speed advantage, and I landed a Psychic. Jolteon went for Thunder Wave, paralyzed me, went first next turn, but missed Thunder. And Starmie doesn't miss. Finally. Oh, this is where amnesia made a huge difference in the Slowbro run. And I guess speaking of amnesia, here's the awkward part of the video. As in, I took a break after the last battle with Fart, came back, beat the Elite Four and Champion, realized I never hit the record button. I recorded these in Streamlabs instead of OBS, and I guess just being in a new software made me careless. Here is the video proof that I did it. It took me 4 hours and 10 minutes of real-life game time, 27 resets, Starmie at level 60, and I think it was 3 hours and 23 minutes of in-game time. And I forgot to record the Elite Four and Champion battle. And I had no save states either. Normally I do one before the Elite Four, and I just didn't this time. So, I had to make a decision. I started the entire game over. I played on 4 times speed, recorded all of it. I don't know how different the stats of these two Starmies was, but we're going to assume that they're perfectly identical. I did do a few things differently in the run, like battling more trainers along the way, just so I could level up and get to the Elite Four quicker. I didn't keep up with time or resets in this. I was kind of just phoning it in to get to the Elite Four. What I can tell you, though, is that I'm pretty sure the 6 resets in my original Elite Four run, 1 was against Lorelei, and the rest happened against my rival. 1 might have been against Lance, but I really don't think that happened. Ready for the consolation video of the Elite Four? Well, you're going to get it anyways. I mean, what else was I going to do to end the video? Seriously, I don't know what else I could have done. But before the Elite Four, I bought as many iron and calcium as I could and used them on Starmie, just to max out my defense and special. Thunderbolt was obviously a huge move in the Lorelei battle. I had an unnecessary critical hit against Dugong, and Cloyster went down to just 1 too. Slowbro took 2, but it used Withdraw, doing nothing against me. Jinx took 3 Surfs, but it used Double Slap and Thrash, only doing a little bit of damage. Lapras was the big boy, of course. Thunderbolt put it in yellow. And Body Slam paralyzed Starmie. And paralyzed for the other turns is what happened. Lapras took down Starmie. I told you I think there was a reset here, and I'm pretty sure it happened this very similar way. Second attempt, same thing. Even got a critical hit on Slowbro. Surf had a high roll on Jinx and a crit on the next turn, so it only got to double slap Starmie. Thunderbolt paralyzed Lapras, and Body Slam paralyzed Starmie. But Starmie kept on landing Thunderbolt, and Lorelei used a super potion instead of even just trying to take out Starmie. I feel like Lorelei is consistently the trainer I have the most trouble with in the Elite Four. I think that's why I think water types are so busted in this game. Now remember that lass on the route before Rock Tunnel? I meant it when I said she was better than Bruno. Between Surf, Psychic, Psychic, Surf, and Psychic in that order, Bruno was literally an afterthought. I feel a little bad for him, but not bad enough to not trash him. Agatha wasn't an issue either. Those vitamins I bought from the Celadon department store really showed in this battle. A critical Psychic took down the first Gengar. Ice Beam surprisingly didn't knock out Golbat, but Agatha used a super potion on it, so next turn it was done, no problem. And then I literally just used Psychic on everything else in the battle. Haunter and Arbok posed no threat, but Gengar did lower my special with a Psychic of its own. But it was so weak from the original Psychic that I didn't have to worry about it. Remember when I said I think one reset came against Lance? I don't think so. He was very easy. Thunderbolt shocked Gyarados, and Ice Beam was strong enough to take out both Dragonairs in just one hit. No chance of them annoying me with Thunder Wave. And Surf was a one-shot on Aerodactyl too. And Ice Beam, well, of course it was going to one-shot Dragonite. Dragonite may be bulky, but a 4x weakness is going to mess up anybody. Alright, the final fart. Sandslash leads off, putting the fear of the Lord in Starmie, but Surf takes it down in one hit. Scary. Alakazam had me use my Ice Beam tactic, hoping for a freeze. It hit with Psychic, I did the same. Next turn it hit again, and lowered my special. So I reset. When you put only special moves on a Pokemon in Gen 1, you can't take a special stat loss like that. And all this time I've been making Sandshrew and Sandslash sound scary just because I thought it'd be funny. Well, when you misclick and use Thunderbolt on Sandslash, not affecting it, and it can land an Earthquake on you, it leaves a mark. So my fears were very rational. But when you use Surf, it's no problem, so back to serious mode. Ice Beam did freeze Alakazam this time, saving me a good chunk of health. Exeggutor was a lot bulkier than I expected. Ice Beam didn't even take it to yellow health. It landed Leech Seed, and that's the only move it will use because it's the only grass attack it has. But it did put a timer on me for the rest of the battle. And I used an embarrassing Thunderbolt on it, so let's not focus on that. Cloyster took 2 Thunderbolts, taking a little bit of health with Spike Cannon, but that's all it did. Ninetales hit a quick attack, and Surf didn't one-shot it. Next turn, I went first, but still lost that little bit of health from Leech Seed. I went for Psychic on Jolteon to proc the special drop. I got a critical hit, and the special drop happened. It did paralyze me though, so between that and Leech Seed, I was a little more worried. It then used Pin Missile, only landing twice, and Starmie, while paralyzed, took down the electric dog. Fart has been blown away. Again. I can't believe I didn't record the original video, that's just... Oh. So here's the breakdown. Starmie is better than Slowbro, as long as that Slowbro doesn't have amnesia. If you're in any other generation where speed isn't super busted though, Slowbro really might be the better option to go with. And after doing 2 runs with a Psychic Water type, I think this joint typing may not be as perfect as I think it is. The water weakness just hurts so badly. So, I'm a little sad. What's next? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get started on that best type series of videos. Maybe we'll have another solo run. If there's anything specific you want, let me know. Maybe I'll hit record this time. As always, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Y'all the real MVPs. Make good choices, have a great day, and until next time, see you later!